Hello, and welcome back. I am Arumba. Thank you for joining me. Let's play some more of our campaign with FilthyRobot, the tutorial series, in theory.
Oh,
How's
I'm
it
a
going,
little
Filthy?
tired, but I'm doing well. I was just telling you before the session started. I want to repeat this for our audience that normally we leave our viewers on cliffhangers. We've done this to them a number of times in this series, and I get some feedback about it. Some people are not so thrilled with that, but this time we left ourselves on a cliffhanger. And we left ourselves on a cliffhanger for instead of the one day they wait, we waited 5 days in between last time we recorded and now, which is, you know, we considering this is
Very
the
long for us.
defining battle of this war, potentially, where we finally got both the terrain advantage we wanted, although we got lured into a fight through bullshit. Oh, I assume from you just not understanding the zone of control stuff. Is that what that is?
Mhm.
Or just some buggy piece
It,
of shit cheater? I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. People in commenting on one of my other campaigns in E4 right now that the AI is moving through zones of control they shouldn't be able to. So I don't know what's going on with zone of control right now. I thought, here's the thing. With the beta patch, which we played for like 10 episodes, 12, I don't know. We played for a number of episodes. At first I didn't like it because there were certain circumstances where like having one area with only one fort effectively was useless because like you could just march right through it. But but if you had two forts, it always made sense and it was so simple. And now we've gone back to the older system and in theory it makes sense, but then this stuff happens. Like they shouldn't be able to go from Northumberland to Lothian and then from Lothian to Cumbria. They should have to go Northumberland to Lothian, come back out of the zone of control to Northumberland, and then back out all the way to the zone of control to Yorkshire, from
Yeah. That's
Yorkshire to Cumbria. But they didn't
no.
they
They just
didn't
went
do
straight from
that, and
Lothian
that's
to Cumbria, Cumbria, and able to engage us, and that's crazy talk.
yeah, it's I don't know. It's curious, but anyway, let's go speed 2 and let's just
Yep.
see how we roll. We can't actually see the rolls until the next day, but we're in the fire phase, which we'll see. I'm on
Okay.
pause. So our
Is
first phase,
bad.
we got 4 versus 4. It's not too bad because remember we're early game. Fire phase
Yep.
isn't as important. It's going to be the first shock phase that really determines how this looks.
Terrible.
And we rolled a
Terrible.
1. Well, granted they rolled a 2, so it's not. It could have been worse, but thank you.
Wait,
What's his
do we
face?
roll
That
another
could have
one?
been better. I'm pausing to reinforce with Mercs here. Did we seriously roll another one in the
No,
fire
this is still
phase?
shock. I
No,
thought
okay.
I saw the tick of
Still
the.
shock.
There it is. Okay, we rolled a 3,
Okay.
but that modifies to a 4 versus a 1, so that's fine.
Yeah. Now for a while now, I've been wondering why Paradox doesn't just give you like a summary tab, like so you don't always have to add those numbers up in your head. You know, I would just rather see it say 4 versus 1.
Yeah.
But oh well. Come on, second shock phase. Do it,
Yes.
Wallace.
7
There's
versus a
7.
1.
Woo!
That's so good.
That is very good. Okay, that's gonna buy us a little bit of movement or potential.
Okay, our
here, but
morale's
I'm
looking
still
pretty
not
low right now.
optimistic
So
about this war.
I got a question. Okay, did they retreat?
Man. Yeah, he retreated. Yep. So he saw the reinforcements coming in, and he saw the bad rolls, and he was taking more. I mean, you can clearly see here he lost 6,700 men. And we lost
No.
5,000, and he was on track to lose even more.
Okay, that's good then. We needed that.
Interesting. So he's going to be more than capable of hiding behind his forts. Okay. Now, granted, it's been a week since we played, so I've got to now take a
Look
moment
around.
to get a bearing on our position here. We're so screwed, Filthy. Like this war has really, really gone
Please.
badly.
Please.
We're in a bad position, just so you know. It'd be easier to see if we didn't have this information hidden in multiplayer, which I think I keep forgetting to disable, or it might just always be that way. I can't recall now. But when you look at the war score overview, you can see like we got 50,667 infantry on our side. Normally, if you're playing single player, you'd be able to just see the totals on the enemy's side as well, instead of a question mark. And so you could get a much better approximation of like how many troops they have versus how many troops we have. And in theory, if you really wanted to, you could just go through the ledger and add them all up, which is why I think it's silly that it's hidden. But they have a lot. Castile joining that accidental acceptance or like refusal was painful. Let's go one day and then consider if we need to consolidate troops. We have 5,761 manpower. To reinforce our armies, we need 4,498. We have a cavalry stack that's at we have 1,100 cavalry out of a 2 stack. I think we want to make sure we have enough
I'm
manpower to
looking at our
reinforce the
treasury and
cav.
I'm a little scared.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what happens when you murk
Monthly
up a little
balance
bit.
of minus 19.5. Holy shit.
Yeah. Um, we're gonna consolidate the infantry, not the mercs for now. We need to have full combat width still, which was 24. Right now we have 20, 25. So we can consolidate out one of these two, one of
Okay.
these mercs. So I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab 3 of the
Yeah.
mercs, right? Which is gonna be,
Yes,
you
no, I
see
do
the,
actually
well, you
see
probably
them.
can't
The
see it, but
Hume's first industry,
yeah.
Benbow's first mercenary, and yeah, got them.
Yep. So we got a stack now. It's 3 regiments with 1975 troops. We'll just consolidate that down. Let the other ones reinforce at full speed, and now we do have full combat width. It's mercs. Basically, our goal right now is to get England into a position where they're willing to surrender. Uh, Ideally with a white peace. I don't see us winning this war anymore. There's just no way. Because if the French hadn't been so stupid, if they'd used their 4-4 general to just smash the English army when it was down in
Yeah.
Gascony, the only place it could have retreated from Gascony would have been the next province over in the board, and he could have stack wiped it just by moving
Mm-hmm.
one province over. And then the English would be murking up in their homeland, and we would just be smashing the one stacks as they form up while carpet
Right.
sieging it.
So what we actually
And
learned
then,
from this, or what I learned from this, or what the take home for me seems to be, is that although it seems useful to have these like AI alliances, they don't behave as predicted, and they don't behave like in a clever way, and they didn't do this in both wars we fought with them. Now they behaved kind of stupidly, so it's like we can't really count on them to pull their weight. Perhaps Arumba, it's programmed so well that the AI treats alliances, treats their wars like we treat the wars with the alliances with the AI on the other side, where we do as little as possible and make as few good decisions as possible because we want to weaken them.
see, in general, I feel bad complaining about the AI because I personally feel like the Paradox AI is some of the best like logic that I've seen in a game. Like it is very good compared to a lot of other games, but it still does leave a lot to be desired.
Yeah. So you've split up.
So
So I see you split up forces in Yorkshire and Lancashire, and you're basically do you have to siege them down basically to
yeah, we're sieging back the land that
yeah.
the English occupied so that we can get the income and not pick up war exhaustion. Occupied provinces give you is this the first time we've ever
Yeah,
had
I think
land
so.
occupied by an enemy? Yeah, so as they occupy it, we don't draw any income from it. We don't get the taxes, we don't get the provincial trade power for our trade network, we don't get production, any of that stuff. For the most part, I'm trying to keep the army together because I know that stack's going to come back. But our next goal is, despite attrition, we're going to march the entire
Wait,
stack
they're
onto the
there.
war goal. Yeah. So, okay, let's see. He is marching into flat terrain. He's got 29,000 troops, but he hasn't. See how, if you hover over the army, you can see he's got
Yeah.
18,431 infantry. And then right below that, 24 is the
Mm-hmm.
actual number of regiments. So his regiments are at about 75%
Okay.
strength, roughly. He exceeds the combat width because he's got 29 troops, and our combat width is only 24. So him having extra regiments doesn't really affect us as
Yep.
much as it could.
So we need to catch him. We need a defensive area again. We really want him to engage us. Maybe potentially like Northumberland, like because he's going to come into Cumbria, right? Because he's currently marching towards Lancashire. If we were just to go to Cumbria right now, we would get the +1 defense, but we wouldn't have the river because there's no river between the two of them. Correct?
Well, actually, if we march to Lancashire, we have 5 maneuver and he has 1 maneuver, and we can be there on the 15th. He's going to be there on the 16th. So we beat him there. We're the defender. He's crossing a river. We could have a
Right. But
+1.
I mean, it feels like to me this feels so pivotal. We really need to do huge amounts of damage to this as efficiently as possible, right? Otherwise, we're screwed, right?
If we lose the battle, yeah, we're really, really
So
screwed.
don't we want to try to get a province to pick a fight that has 2 bonus toward us instead of just 1?
Yes, but it's difficult to guarantee that he'll move in a way that we can get
Well,
the
he was willing
+2.
to engage us last time in Cumbria when we had the +2. I feel like Northumberland perhaps is a place that we can do that in because we're going to get 2 there from any province, right?
Yeah, no matter where. If let's give it a shot. We'll march to Northumberland. We'll see if he
Okay.
wants to engage us. If he thinks he can win with a -2 penalty, I don't think he's going to do it. I think he's just going to march, and yeah, he's just going to siege stuff. So he's not
Well,
wanting
he
to
did
do
it last
that.
time though. Something
the only-
prompted him to do it last time because we just fought that battle. So
The reason that happened is because we engaged the
and
2
he was
stack.
like just trying to save it
Remember?
or something.
Yes, he was trying to reinforce a battle in progress. That's what happened. We didn't expect him to be able to because of the zone of control mechanics, but that's what caused him to do it. He's not going to try to take a -2 penalty if he can
Yeah.
avoid it. So in hindsight, taking the -1 would have probably been better. For now, though, since he's going to try to siege us and we don't necessarily want to siege him, let's go to Lincolnshire, which is flat terrain. It's behind 3 rivers. If you're on the
Yeah.
simple train map mode, you can see it's got rivers on all sides. Same situation as before. If he tries to engage us, we get the +1 bonus. We're going to go to Lincolnshire because that is the war goal. If we can get the war goal, then he's no longer getting a ticking war score. We could potentially earn back whatever ticking war score we had picked up at the beginning of the war. And the goal here is really we just want to get his enthusiasm down. Honestly, I'm in near panic mode right now. We just want to get him to let us white peace. Best outcome I'm seeing right now is white peace. Now that is him being an idiot, and we are definitely going to try to pick off that cav if he will let us. But first, we want to finish the siege of Lincolnshire.
How do I see the percentage on that?
It's click on Lincolnshire, the province, and you can see that we are 1 day left out of a 28-day siege phase. So again, a non-forted province takes 1 siege tick, which is default.
2 cav,
30
maybe we
days.
can hit.
Now this is great. If he'll let us pick off these 2 cav, that's a lot of money. That's 25 ducats to hire each, and the AI will never buy mercenary cavalry or artillery. So you know for sure he spent 1,000 manpower to hire that cav, and it cost him 25 gold. So if we can kill both of these,
where are you sending this?
Into Lancashire.
Can you send it into Cumbria? Because we can get that exact same situation that arises. Look, his main stack is moving into Northumberland, right now. What's the timing? So his cav will reach Cumbria. What do you mean?
I see what you're hoping for, but there's a big difference between this fight and the previous fight, and that is that because we have more than 10 times the number of troops we're going to engage, there will not be a battle. It's going to be an overrun.
Okay. So he can't reinforce, but didn't we have more than 10 times last time?
It's just going to be.
We didn't. Okay. Oh, he's coming into us. Okay, there's going to be a battle. It says. So I guess we'll catch it. Okay.
It is, but again, overrun 10-1. No losses. We just killed 50 gold worth of stuff and 2,000 manpower. So that's really good. It may mean it's not going to maybe make a huge difference in this war, but if we check the English manpower, the lower that manpower number gets, he's already down to 3,000.
Okay, you're using Ledger for this, so let me see. Ledger military is it armies, and then I sort by country. Look for E for England, and I see manpower 12,120 total. So what am I looking at to see that he's using that? So that's where's
12,000. Where are you seeing this for England?
Nope, I'm sorry, I was looking at the line above it. Yep. Okay, so England is 3,044. So he's running low on reinforcements too. We actually have more manpower less than him than right now. Okay, so we want to bleed him then. We want to fight him so he can't reinforce, so we can actually potentially accomplish something.
But the reason why he has less manpower is because we've murked up before he did.
Okay.
That's the only reason. When he is in a position where he cannot use manpower for his armies, he will murk up too, and we need to get him to that point. But for now, what I'm really looking for is if you click on the war overview, or you look at the little horse on the little flag.
Their war enthusiasm is high.
He's still on the high.
That surprises me.
Yeah, so, yeah, well, he's got lots of allies, so he's relative. A huge factor here is relative strength of the alliance, and that's because all of the Castilian, Aragonese, and the Neapolitan troops from Naples, they're all factoring into this war, and the English are just looking at it saying, we have so many men, we're going to kick your ass.
Is France doing anything? They have a 21k army that's wandering around not doing anything, but they have a lot of fucking troops in there. I mean, look at that. Look how many. No, they have 2. They have a 22. They have 21. What are they doing with their units?
He's got a 4-4 general, and I don't trust him to do anything intelligent because he clearly is not willing to engage other armies. He did siege Avignon. He took the fort from the Papal State in Avignon, which is good.
And isn't he currently sieging Normandy, or is that not sieging? Because I see 22k troops in there. Okay, that might make England's war score go down a little bit, right?
Yeah, but he should be fighting. He should be using his 4-4 general to smash armies, and he's just letting himself get occupied. He's facing a much larger force, which are going to be able to siege more forts than he can. So him trying to siege down forts while other forts are being sieged in his own land is stupid.
Yes, no, absolutely. I agree 100%. I have some questions though. So we have the option. Is there we can now invest in a new idea? It says. I assume that's the diplomatic one, or it might be admin. I can't remember now which one we took. But should we do that? Is there anything helpful in here? Because don't we get the third level of Break the Black Douglas, which means we get less national unrest?
Yeah, so let's talk about it for a moment. If we look at the actual trade idea itself, we're going to get 25% trade range, which I don't think is really going to affect us at the moment because it just unlock more trade nodes that we can interact with. As far as break the Black Douglas, if we look at the stability and expansion tab to look at unrest, we can see that like Lancashire is at 0.8 unrest, Cumbria is at 0.3, Clanricarde is at 8.8.
Where are you? I'm
So
in the stability and expansion tab, but where are you seeing the individual breakdown of unrest?
hover over like take the English separatists, the top item. Hover over where it says 30%.
Okay.
It'll give you a breakdown of the 30%, and then it'll show you the provinces causing the unrest.
No, so that's really
numbers.
not much of an impact at all.
Well, in this case, taking break the Black Douglas would give us -1 unrest, which means that the English separatists would be completely squashed because it would take all those numbers below 0. So that's good. But the Clanricarde separatists are going to continue to progress because it's at 8.8. Long story short, it wouldn't be a bad idea. It's fine. It's just not going to impact the war anyway.
You know what I was thinking it was? I was thinking it was war
ahead.
exhaustion when I was reading stability, or unrest rather. I was thinking it was war exhaustion. So I was thinking we could reduce war exhaustion, which would have been beneficial, but no. Okay. All right. So,
no. If anything, I mean, it couldn't hurt to take it. So
all right,
I would go ahead.
Let's do that. I click on Merchant Adventures, and I say yes. Is that really what it's called? Merchant Adventures?
Make sure.
Our merchants are going on adventures. Okay.
Okay, so the rival of our rival, we're working on Burgundy. That's good. We've got 100 spy network strength against the English right now. We've got spy network strength against the Danish. Okay, so if he sieges down Lothian, he's crossing a river, which means that, and this is what's interesting. So because the fort in Lothian, even though the fort in Lothian is flat terrain, and normally to get the river crossing advantage, you have to be the defender. You have to remember that when you relieve a siege on a fort,
right, but it's only a +1 in there.
So it's as if we were there. Right, but we could go engage his army. We can get a +1 right now if we wanted to. Alternatively, we could just kind of wait because we know it's a level 3 coastal fort. It's going to take him a long time to siege it. We could try to occupy a few other provinces down here.
Yeah, maybe we can catch a couple of his reinforcements. I mean, the downside of waiting is the reinforcements could arrive on these boats at some point, right? I mean, I keep mousing over them, and I'm not seeing stuff on them, but I'm not sure I'm looking in the right spot either. So it is possible reinforcements show up.
Well, the other nations are unlikely to try to land boats on in England until after they have kind of taken over the mainland. They're not going to worry about it until they're done with the French. But soon, eventually, France is going to lose. France cannot beat the armies that he's facing. I can pretty much promise you he will lose this war on his side. So eventually, if we can't get England to back down, then we're going to be in a position where we will get invaded by 100,000+ men, and there's nothing we can do. So our goal is to weaken the English enthusiasm to the point where they want out of the war so that we can hide from Castile, basically. And then come back later when the Castilian armies aren't going to be involved. So it's a turn for the worse, but the English enthusiasm says Scotland is making gains, -3. English military strength, -4. I think what we want to do is just kind of hang out, let him siege down our capital. It's not going to fall anytime soon. He'll suffer attrition while he's doing it. If we avoid attrition, we can kind of do a little bit. Okay, he's heading to Cumbria. That's
Can we get there first?
Yeah, that's the question. 29th, we can be there on the 25th. Let's wait. Let us wait.
You're trying to get him locked into the movement?
Exactly. Let's wait 3 days so that we can arrive on the 28th. So we'll go 1, 2.
Oh, look, we received a generous donation of 45 from our friends in some place I've never heard of. Where's Tlemcen? How do I even say that? What is TL? Tlemcen? Okay.
Tlemcen. Yeah, they're the Muslim nation down on the northwest coast of Africa, and they hate Castile because they do. So they want to help out against Castile. We can take money.
We've already taken out a shit ton of loans. So that'd be good. So now we go. All right, we get the fight we want.
Yeah, we're going and we're locked and we're gonna see what we can do
Arumba,
here.
roll well.
Good luck. Oh God, Henry Tudor.
No, we don't want that.
Okay, it's the fire phase. Okay. It's the fire phase. It's okay. So he's actually got a 7 versus a 5. Fire phase. Okay, come on, Wallace.
Yes.
Wallace, yes. Yes.
All right. So is that 5 versus -2 or 5 versus 0 here?
Yeah. It's a 5
so it
versus
does.
a -2. Yeah. So if you watch. Yeah, and watch over, like, look at the actual battle itself, and you'll see the numbers, the number of troop depth on either side. Like, watch, there'll be these numbers that'll hover.
Oh yeah, the red stuff?
They're going to be red. So on our side, it's going to be on the right, on their side, it's going to be the left, just based on the layout. And you'll see that we're barely going to lose any men at all, because he rolled a negative actual number. So you see, we lost 193, we killed almost 1,000. 5-to-1 ratio for the next 3 days.
Oh, we just rolled a 9 again? A 10,
We just
10
got,
to
yeah,
0.
we got a 10 versus a 0. Nice. Glorious.
5
Wallace
versus
just
a
rolled
1.
a 5 versus a 1. Wallace is a badass is what he is. Wallace says no. Wallace says he does not want to lose
Okay.
this war. That was incredible.
Let's just roll
It was
that again.
So good. I just wish that we could
Take advantage
somehow,
of this.
somehow.
Well, we could this. Okay.
Now, okay, now this is interesting. Now he's training up. He's got
Yeah,
you see
yeah.
the cav down there? He's trained up another cav, and then he's got another merc. And I'm willing to bet if we check the ledger, that's going to be a mercenary infantry. Yes, he has 3 merc infantry now. If you check the ledger, so he's in desperation mode now as well. He's merking up, which is great because that means he's going to start going into huge financial deficit, and his enthusiasm is going to start to drop pretty rapidly. If we can pick those armies off as he tries to reinforce, there's a pretty good chance we could knock him out of this war pretty quickly. It's just a shame that he's got these forts where they are because we can't stack wipe him. If we could chase his army, I just know for sure he's either going to retreat behind London or, yeah, no. He's going to Gloucestershire.
Oh, okay. Where's so zone? Is it I for map? No, it's not I. It's yeah, it is. Okay, second I is zone of control. Okay, so we can't just walk through. I mean, if we went into Derbyshire, we can't go past that at all, right? We could go Derbyshire into Lincolnshire, but we can't go deeper into there unless we go through marshes. And we have to siege down marshes really before we can go anywhere else. And that's going to take way too long. Okay.
Exactly. Yep. And marshes, and that's the more dangerous thing, is that marshes is a forest tile. So if we try to siege it, then he gets the negative. He gets bonus when he tries to relieve the siege. So it's just a dangerous position for us.
We have more maneuvers, so we'd never get 2 out of that, but you still get 1. Yeah, we don't want to fight with any bonuses for them. We're in too precarious a situation, right? So perhaps what we do, I mean, we could siege like Derbyshire, right? Are you lifting the siege right now on Lancashire? That's what you're doing? Yeah, okay.
Yes, we're sitting here and we're hoping that one of those little 1 stacks that he hires marches into any of the adjacent provinces that we can reach right now, so we can just go stack wipe it. For now, we're gonna back off for a second, see if we can bait any of those armies to come forward. The only issue with trying to go for Derbyshire, or Derby, I don't know why they spell it with an E if it's pronounced
Darby,
Derbyshire, but
Derbyshire?
it is. Yeah, I don't know why, but I've been corrected on it so many times. It's Derbyshire, Derbyshire Shire, or something like that. But if we siege that, because it's within the zone of control of marches, if we leave, then unless we're occupying marches as well, the fort will just unsiege Derbyshire for free.
But it's not instant, right?
We don't. No, it'll take 30 days.
Okay.
But the only real provinces we could take that wouldn't have that happen would just be Norfolk. But it's dangerous terrain. So really, we just have to sit here and hope that the English keep on throwing their army at us and losing, so that we can weaken their enthusiasm and potentially knock them off the war.
Unhappiness among the clergy. That's what we need right now. Conflict of opinion and interest of religious and secular matters between our government and our nation's religious authorities have upset the clergy. We may ignore their demands, in which case we gain 10 prestige, they lose 10 influence, and they lose 10 loyalty. They're currently at 62, so it will bring it down beneath the breakpoint of 60. Or we can agree to their demands and they'll gain 10 loyalty, which will put them at 72. We'll gain 10 papal influence and we'll lose 15 prestige. I think we have to ignore it, right? Don't we need the prestige right now for all the stuff it does for our combat?
It would be better to keep the prestige for these battles.
So, okay, let me go look up. So let me just quickly take a look at the estates tab. I want to look at what the clergy does for us. So because we're at 60%, we get a tax modifier of 20%. That will still be there, though. So what we're gaining is a stability cost modifier and a yearly papal influence. I don't think that's that important. We're at war with Rome, right? Or not?
The papal state, yes. We are currently at war with the papal state.
So we don't, and the stability cost modifier would be nice, but it's not. I don't think that's that big a deal. So I think we ignore the demands, right? And we take the loss of influence and loyalty. Okay.
Yep. Pretty much have to.
I hope I was looking over the right one.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Ironically, we can send a papal delegate. We can send an emissary to the Pope while we're at war with the Pope, if we wanted to right now. It's one of the interactions we could do with the clergy.
I want their. I don't know. I don't really want that right now. I don't really care about that. Because I don't want to give them more influence without giving them more loyalty. You know what I mean? So I'd like to get them back over 60%.
Yeah.
But, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we got to take a break here, but next episode we will hopefully continue to have Wallace kick kick ass in some battles. I remember we hired a whole bunch of generals, and Wallace still ended up being our best general, which is so ridiculous.
I'm really hoping
But,
when that episode airs, that we'll get some fans to do the math for us. I really don't think it was that. I don't think we were that far off of what I would expect as an average outcome. So
I
that's
still
what I'm
think we
hoping.
were.
Someone will do the math
But
for us.
anyway.
See you guys soon.